The first orbiter, Enterprise, was built in 1976, and was used in approach and landing test, but had no orbital capability. In the first two, approach and landing test, the orbiter was attached to the shuttle carrier aircraft, which was a modified Boeing 747, and was flown once with a crew and power, and once without a crew or power. In the last three tests, the orbiter was being taken up by the airplane, and was separated, following which, the orbiter landed on the ground by itself. Four fully operational orbiters were initially built. The name of the orbiters were Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, and Atlantis. Of these, two were lost in mission accidents, Challenger in 1986, and Columbia in 2003, with a loss of 14 astronauts. A fifth operational orbiter, and sixth in total, Endeavour was built in 1991 to replace Challenger. The three surviving operational vehicles were retired from service following the Atlantis final flight on July 21, 2011. The U.S. relied on the Russian Soyuz spacecraft to transport astronauts to the International Space Station from the last shuttle flight until the launch of the Crew Dragon Demo 2 mission in May 2020. Responsibility for the shuttle components was spread among multiple NASA centers. The Kennedy Space Center was responsible for launch, landing, and turnaround operations for equatorial orbits, which was the only orbit profile actually used in the program. The U.S. Air Force, at the Vandenberg Air Force Base, was responsible for launch, landing, and turnaround operations for polar orbits, but this was never used. The Johnson Space Center served as the central point for all shuttle operations, and the Marshall Space Flight Center was responsible for the main engines, external tank, and solid rocket boosters. The John Stennis Space Center handled main engine testing, and the Goddard Space Flight Center managed the global tracking network.